Trends change here. I'm just getting ready to do a few things. Getting ready to go out. Yeah, got my shirt and tie on today. It's been a while since I have posted a video. I've been busy moving. Just moved into a new place. Check this. We're just sorting everything out. Beautiful place. Absolutely love it. Anyway, also many thanks to my housemate who's moved with me. I wouldn't have been able to afford this place if he hadn't. Few people may be aware that I used to work in security. And just recently, we've had a lot of problems in the UK. The police acting like a goon squad. The leadership of the UK has been ineffectual at best. Definitely two-tier policing. Indigenous British people have been targeted. Anybody who is disagreeing with the left and with the Prime Minister, who coincidentally is acting like a baby who is missing his bottle of milk and throwing a temper tantrum, anybody who is against that is called far right, alt right. The media using, well, essentially fake news, fake representation, calling anybody who disagrees with the narrative as I said, far right and alt left. I have actually seen a lot of police officers go, "Oh, I'm going to arrest you for this or arrest you for that," bring down the full extent of the law, blah, blah, blah. Look, first of all, full extent of the law is it's a nonsensical, stupid phrase. It means nothing. It's there to incite fear, okay? When you're arrested, you're not half arrested or you're not half prosecuted. You're prosecuted. You're arrested. Okay? There is no half extent of the law or quarter extent of the law. The application of the law is the full extent of the law. It really is as simple as that. They're using phrases and terminology to inspire fear. And then they're turning around the narrative to turn around and say, well, actually, it's the alt-right that are making these problems, causing these problems. The problem is Keir Starmer himself pouring fuel onto a fire that's already there. Not representing his people, his nation. He's a globalist. He has no interest in promoting any sort of equal law to anybody. And then he's blaming onto people like Tony Robinson, Nigel Farage, etc. I knew as soon as people were voting for Keir Starmer that this would happen. And I've seen police out there arresting people for calling them Muppets, for calling them names, whatever. You know, this goes back to when I was working in security. I faced people with real nasty insults about my parentage, about myself, accusations of racism, accusations of an awful lot of things. There are far worse things I've dealt with. And I've just moved them on, let them get on with it, and get them done. Yeah, there might have been times when I've escorted people off site and said, you know what, time for you to move along. But it's a simple case of I did my job, I went home. Never called the police for anything. There's about 3 times in my life, in 10 years of security, where I've actually had to do that. And that was when people actually became violent with other people and when there were serious times when the law did need to be enforced. The police are nothing now but a brute squad for the establishment. And we're seeing this happen with the Conservatives during lockdown. We now see it with the Labour. We see Keir Starmer, who is essentially a spoiled brat, throwing a temper tantrum. Are you really surprised at why things are happening the way they are? We see police running away from all sorts of ethnic minorities. But when the indigenous British people turn up to protest, they're in full riot gear. Football matches in full riot gear. All these things in full riot gear. But when it's ethnic minorities, nothing. They run, take the knee for BLM. The list goes on and on. The problem we have is ineffectual, weak leadership, with people throwing a temper tantrum like they're some sort of 5-year-old or 2-year-old. I said a while ago, we need to vote for Farage. We need to have clear, decisive leadership. I wonder if any of the people who voted for Labour now are looking at this and going, oh yeah, this is what we want. Really? Really wanted this? Because this is what you voted for. So I really wanted to avoid putting this on, really wanted to avoid all this, but to be honest with you, it really comes down to it that, we're now under threat if we even agree with what's happening. And any hints of right-wing movement. In fact, to be honest with you, this could seem as though I'm inciting a riot. Could be arrested for simply saying I'm not surprised at what's happening. That's as bad as it's starting to get. We have entered into a tyrannical, despotic dictatorship. And the problem is the British people have allowed that. And things are going to get worse. Down the 4 years, things are going to get worse. And anybody with half a brain cell shouldn't really be surprised. They probably saw this coming. Just a few facts, that Nigel Farage and the Reform Party actually had more votes than anybody else. Proportional representation, this country would be under the UK reform if we had proportional representation. Labour didn't win by a landslide. They won by having a minority government with the system set up the way it is. And those are the facts. Now, I'm going to go out on a branch even more and say this. The times when it's got to this point, people like Oliver Cromwell have rebelled and turned the system around. The only real change, to be honest with you, would be a revolution and a complete change of the system. That's the only time things change. And that is a matter of history. So, I don't know where we go from here. Hopefully, Keir Starmer, hopefully the people who are in charge, they get removed and someone better put in, but I can't see that happening. It's a sad state of affairs, could have been avoided very, very easily.